Overcast again. What can you do? It rained overnight, obviously, at some point, because it's always, when I look out at the road, it's always wet. But it's never raining. Not today. So what I did this morning is first of all, I didn't rush to get up, but when my son wakes up and goes to work, I usually wake up. You can barely hear him, but my good ears can hear him. Plus it matches the time that my body wants to wake up. So I get up, so by about 7, I'm supposed to get up at 7 and feed the cats, right? Sometimes I wake up at 6 when my son gets up. Sometimes I don't. Anyway, I usually a cat indicates that they'd like me to get up. Not today. I woke up by myself, looked and said, oh yeah, my son must be up. I can't hear him, but he must be up. Both cats were still sleeping. Okay, they were quiet, they were lying, they were not sitting up looking at me, nothing like that. So I got up and fed them at 7. Usually I have to go to the washroom anyway, so no problem, but I sometimes I debate going back to bed if it's not 7. But it was 7, so I thought, okay, I'll get up, feed the cats, wash my face, start breakfast. Have breakfast. Finish breakfast. Then I sometimes get caught up in reading the newspaper because I have my newspaper on my computer. So depending on that, it depends. That's what indicates whether I will, go out quickly or go out later. If something interesting comes up, I'll sit and read it. Excuse me. And I heard that Mimi got up because she works Mondays, Tuesdays, at her job. She drives in. So that means she gets up earlier than she would if she were not going in. And I heard her walking around because her I can hear because she has a heavy step. So I hear her. Now I don't know why, because they both wear socks. They don't wear shoes in any way or form, but my son is quiet and Mimi is stomps. She stomps. Then when she was leaving, which I heard, after she left, I heard Frankie go racing around. So I looked. Usually I don't look to see what anyone's doing upstairs. But because Frankie was running around, I thought, oh, and this was right after Mimi left. I thought, what's Frankie doing? I was just curious. And there was Nana pooping. Plain sight. Usually she does it somewhere where you cannot see, like behind the counter, right? But this time she was on the right side of the counter and she pooped. That's why Frankie was running. Yes, Mimi says that Frankie has taken to running away because she knows that, well, Nana doesn't get into trouble for pooping or peeing, but somehow Frankie has matched Nana peeing or pooping with time to run. And that's what Nana did too, is she pooped and then she ran upstairs. So I went upstairs and cleaned things up. So this was like, Mimi left at around 9 and Nana pooped at 5 after 9. Yeah. So then I decided to head out on a walk. Not a long walk, just a short walk. And I grabbed my compost and I grabbed their compost, put my compost in their compost thing, and my recycling. And because today is Monday, all the garbage and recycling was at the road. So I put everything at the front door, got dressed, went outside. Oh, that's a beautiful Siamese. It looks like a lilac point. Yeah, it looked like a lilac point. Yeah, so I went out and I pulled in, first I opened the garage door, then I went out, got the garbage and the recycling bins and put them all back where they're supposed to go, closed the garage door, came back inside, put my recycling and, I only had recycling, away, and then I took the compost, carried it around to the back, emptied it out. Is that, was that Tanner? The color on that was so strange. I couldn't tell if that was Tanner or if it was Floyd. Was it a black and white picture? I don't know. Yeah, so I dumped that in the compost and brought the bin back to the front door and then left. Everything has to be done in order. So I put my hat on, put my coat on, and headed out. Despite the fact that I haven't been walking much lately, I noticed that I am in shape still, and that the cold, if it's cold, does not affect me as much as it did at the first year. I mean, doing a lot of activity gets your metabolism going, and it's just like going swimming regularly. You go swimming regularly, winters are not cold. If you go walking every single day for an entire summer, Aggie and Ellie, their kitten picture always. It was an adorable kitten picture. They were adorable kittens. Anyway, where was I? That's a kingfisher. I headed out. Not too cold. It's windy. I could feel the cold wind, but I realized that it wasn't affecting me. So I went around I thought I'll just go around the block. And I felt fairly good, but not great. So I went around the 2 blocks. So I went from here to the main road, not just to the next road. Took that one and just came back past Judy's place and home. And it was starting to, I haven't iced. There you go. I should ice. Yeah. So that was a short walk. Stephansdom, St. Stephen's Cathedral in Vienna. So I came inside, was met by Nana and Frankie. Frankie proceeded to get out. Actually, Frankie got out. Frankie got out this morning. Yes, she got out when I was opening and closing the door. And so when I went to put my stuff in the compost, I said, fine, Frankie, if you're going to do that, I'm not going to chase you around. So I just went and put the compost in the bucket. And by the time I got back to the front, she was at the door going, oh God, it's awful out here, let me in. She does not like, cats don't like wet. So there was no place that she could go that was dry, so she was at the front door, waiting to be let in. Andre Norton. Yes, so I got home and Nana and Frankie were at the doors to say hello. And yeah, I got back in and went, grabbed the bucket, went downstairs. And then I went downstairs, came downstairs, and I got out the toy that, oh yes, dangerous thing happened this morning, right around breakfast time. Yesterday I had bought at Pet Value with Judy another scratching post thing, those cardboard ones that you can either lie flat or that are inclined. I got one. They cost the same, okay? So I thought I'll get the inclined one. And which someone is using right now. And that incline thing has had a little dangly thing hanging inside it where the cats can reach in and play. It's another, thing for them to keep them occupied. Well, Julia just loved that thing. She loved the scratching post. Ellie, no, not so much. And she loved that thing that was hanging in there. So she was playing with it yesterday, and I thought, oh, that's cute, fine. This morning, after breakfast, okay, so this was when I came back in. No, yeah, I was in when I came back in. And she was playing with that, and she pulled it out, and she started eating it. She said, what are you doing? At first I thought she was just chewing at it, and I was going to take it from her when she pulled it apart and swallowed a part of one of this. It's crinkle plastic, colored crinkle plastic in the shape of a puff ball hanging from a plastic string, and one of the puffs came off, so a piece of plastic, and she proceeded to eat it before I could get to her. Oh my God, I freaked. All I could think of was I do not express that I love Julia, but I love Julia. She is now my oldest cat again, not Floyd way back. Now this is Julia, and she is as old as Nana is. She's 13 years old, and I don't want her to die. So I grabbed some food, because the reason she was eating it is because she was hungry. Really, you just had breakfast. But she was, had in her mind that this was food, and she ate it. She swallowed it. I freaked. So I gave her some food to, push it down. All I could think of was, what am I going to do? Because you can't force a cat to drink water. She drinks water plenty, but you can't force. So I called the vet, and we had a discussion. Finally, that got back to me and said, usually with something that, as long as it isn't hard, we're not that concerned about it. It's not something hard. It's not hard plastic. It's chewable enough to be swallowed. She says, in that case, it usually passes through. So if you feel you need to, come bring her in, you can. But the time was, passing for inducing vomiting and things. So it probably, so anyway, she suggested that it was probably going to be fine. And as soon as she said that, I went, okay. I mean, I thought it would, Floyd, when she was a kitten. I had thought that in my head, but still you want to make sure. So I did talk to the vet, but, probably not a concern. You will probably see it coming through. Good. Yes. That was not something I needed this morning. No. And then after that, I had lunch and everything. And after lunch, I pulled out the other toy that I got yesterday. I mean, the scratching post I bought at Pet Value, but this was a set of one of those things. I don't want to tease them by pulling it out now. Whips, where the toy hangs from the end and then you flail it around and chase it. And I went running around the house and I tuckered myself out. Probably more tuckered out than the cats because I'd already gone for a few kilometers walk. I ran around here so many times, and they're still not. This is really good because really Aggie needs to lose weight. But yeah, I ran them around the house. They seem to like it, so yeah, that's good. I also got them those springs. Little colored springs, which they also like. But mainly Julia likes everything. And Ellie, but as of now, Ellie has tried everything. So it's good. Not just Julia. But who knows where the springs are right now? They've disappeared. They usually get lost under something. But I don't have as many unders as they do upstairs. So they have a couch. I mean, my couch is much higher than their couch, so I should be able to find those springs. I only released 2 of them. The others are in the package. I'm not going to release any more until I find the old ones. Yeah. So that's how things stand at the moment. I think everyone has finally calmed down and is resting. And I think I will do the same because 20 minutes is long enough for a video. And this is how long this one is. 19 minutes. Oh, and counting.